Hello, everyone, and welcome to episode 4 of You've Got Melex. Yay! I'm being really extra right now, wearing my bright pink blazer. And as bright as it looks now, it's actually brighter in person. It's actually glowing off of my wall, like 2 feet away. The first time I wore it to work, everyone like screamed that they were blinded. But I've also gotten a lot of compliments on it, and it was what I wore to work earlier today.
Nice.
I love it. Like I'm addicted to blazers. I have a problem. And this one is like it incorporates 2 things: power shoulders and also bright colors, which are some of my favorite things in life. So
When I went to the interview for the job that I have right now, I wore a bright yellow blazer.
nice.
It was great. But today I'm just wearing a Yellowstone t-shirt
Nice.
because it's still quarantine and I will never ever wear a bra ever again.
I respect that. I only so at the beginning of quarantine, well, like the first week of my like quarantine was our week where we were supposed to be at Disney. So there I didn't make a whole lot of effort at all. And then my first week back at work, I did try, like I actually wore work appropriate clothes, and very quickly that went downhill, and it was like sweatpants and like a shirt that looked okay on camera just in case we had a Zoom conference. And I was also sick at that point too, so I was like really half-assing it on makeup, like it was just enough to not look dead. And I'm that person who's super extra and has to wear makeup no matter what. Like Melanie can attest to this. Every time we go on vacation, like every day I have to do the full makeup routine.
Mm-hmm.
I'm learning to get over that. But yeah, I actually had my first full like breakdown of the quarantine last week. And after that, I started wearing makeup and dressing up again because I think it helped me feel more sane. But yeah, like
you gotta do what you gotta do. I mean, this is like I don't know if you can tell, but I'm wearing mascara.
oh wow, fancy. What's the occasion?
Like, you guys are lucky that I washed. Like, the reason that we're starting later than we were going to is because I had to hop in the shower and wash my hair, because even though my students have the opportunity to video chat me whenever they need to, they don't. Like, they're high school students, they just don't do it. So my hair, like, literally, if they did try to video chat me, my hair looks like this, like that, but worse because it's not washed.
Yeah,
The
I understand. Oh, I understand. Like I can get away with like not showering for a while because it's not like people can smell me here.
Yeah.
I'm alone in my house, so like put my hair up on a ponytail, it looks fine. Like I look, and if I'm wearing clothes, like I look like at least acceptable. So yeah, like I've been showering, but like, you know, there's like someone just posted this on Facebook last night. It was like there's like 4 different types of showers. There's a hair only, body only, full routine, singing in the shower, moisturize, exfoliate, all of that, and shave. And then I can't remember what the 4th one was, but I was like, I did the full routine shower on Sunday, and I'm pretty sure I lost like 10 pounds in body hair and dead skin. Like,
Yeah.
it was like, I got this like exfoliating glove thing. It's like a mitt thing from the place that does my eyebrows, because they do like a bunch of other stuff. And it would like, you could see the dead skin coming off. Like it was satisfying in that kind of like, yeah, like in a way that I know other people would think is gross, but I have a weird fascination with things like that. And also it's my own body, so like whatever.
No, I mean, have you done the baby feet?
I literally just did it again today. I had done it before, but I'm doing it. I did it on Monday, so a week from now I should be seeing.
So like, the best thing. Gross, but
oh, let me tell you about gross body stuff. We could have a whole podcast on this because like your girls had a lot of problems, but I used to do a lot of dance. Like I mean, I still love dance, but I like used to dance like barefoot from time to time, and I got plantar warts, and I didn't know what they were, and so they actually grew like to a decent size, and so I had like a patch. This doesn't seem big, but apparently that is actually really big, and so the options to get it removed, there's like laser surgery, or there's like an acid that you can put on it. And so because the spot was so big, the doctor's like, well, we should try the acid first, because if I try and remove it with a laser, you're gonna have like a hole in your foot. And I'm like, yeah, that's cool. So I put in the like salicylic acid, which like, you use for like your face, but it's like way more concentrated, and you put it on there, and then you put duct tape over your foot, and then you just like peel off the skin as it like burns off. And so I was in this weird limbo where it's like it kind of hurts, like the peeling off part, but I liked the peeling part. And so I'm like, I've had a problem with fainting in the past, so it was like this, okay, breathe, breathe, breathe. Oh, that looks so cool. Oh God, breathe, 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 breathe. Like, and this was going on, like it took several months, so this was like a process. And it was happening while I went to England the last time. So we were doing like a lot of walking. I remember my dad was like complaining about like chafing or something from walking in shorts or whatever. And then he like looked and saw me like doing my foot, and he's like, I'm complaining about chafing and literally half your foot's coming up. I was like, yeah, I'm tougher than you, whatever. But yeah, so.
Like speaking of this kind of stuff, I just ordered some face stuff that's like apparently has a cult following, and I guess one of my friends recommended it to me, and it's supposedly smells like onions and garlic or something, or maybe just onions, and it like makes your face go numb, but it like is supposed to be really good for your skin. And so I'm very excited to try it because it sounds like very intense. But hold on, I'll tell you what it's called.
Yeah, you're gonna have to share the results with me, because I want to know about these things. Like I think this is actually like it is a strange human trait of like a fascination with these weird like body things like this, like extreme beauty treatments. There's something to it.
It's called Lotion P50 Original 1970.
Interesting.
So I'll send you a link to it. It's
Yes.
$30. So I like not too bad, but
it's just like a one-use thing, or is it like a multi?
You use it like twice a week or something. Well, my friend uses it like twice a week. I mean, I think you can use it like every day, but she said it's very harsh, like a lot of chemicals.
Oh yeah.
So it's like not the best to use every day. She uses it a couple times a week, but I'm excited because I keep having this problem where I get like this red like spot right here. I don't know if you can see it, but I like was like, what do? I need to get rid of it. And she's like, try this. So I'm gonna try it. I've waited till my stimulus check got here, and it was in this morning. So I'm like, let's do this.
Nice. Yeah. No, I know that I get skin issues with my sensitivities, like right now, because I've been eating like crap because
they have a sensitive formula too.
Ooh, well, like, but I'm wondering, like, if that's related, like, you're facing, because, like, right now, my skin is, like, just, like, mildly itchy, and then I tend to get, like, breakouts, especially right around my mouth, but then sometimes I'll get stuff, like, on my chest, which there's nothing right now, but, like, yeah, that's a thing, which I'm realizing more and more of, like, my weird health things are clearly related to food, and I've just gotten so used to them that I like forgot that, oh yeah, like my skin's probably not supposed to itch like that, and I'm probably not supposed to have like all these, like just weird things. Yeah.
I've been using hydrocortisone cream that my mom had for my nephew, and so I'm like, okay, I'll put baby cream on my face. And I mean, it's getting a little bit better. I thought it was because I wear, a CPAP at night. You know this, but other people don't know. And so I had a mask, and it went like this. So I thought like right here, it was breaking out because of that, like sweat or something between the mask and my face or something. But I just switched to a mask that's just over my nose, and it's not going away. I mean, it's been like 2.5 weeks. And it's,
Oh yeah, then that's definitely something like different. By the way, I made a smoothie because I was like, I should have fruit or vegetables or something in my life. And also I didn't feel like putting effort into something, and so this was easy. So that's dinner.
do you want to guess what I am drinking right now?
I mean, it's Coke. Oh my God, really? Like, well, it's like what? I think the first episode you were drinking water or something. I was like, what?
maybe that's what's behind my skin stuff is
Just drinking Coke all the time. Yeah, but like you have been doing, or maybe it's because you drink water. Like that.
yeah, that's probably it.
I thought you were trying to say it was the Coke.
I'm really suffering from it.
It's Coke withdrawal. Like, nice. So we're gonna play a game tonight that you may have seen on like the Jenna Julian podcast, if you guys watch that, which I don't like. Obviously everyone does and watches all the same things as me. So it's called Don't Even Get Me Started. I literally forgot the name for a second, but Don't Even Get Me Started, where we have random topics that we go off about. So it can be good, it can be bad, whatever. So we can do it however we want, I suppose. Go ahead.
Yeah, I didn't watch the video. You sent me a video earlier of the podcast, and so I would know what we were doing. And like the first game that we played, I did not watch it.
It's all good. I mean, I gave you a description. It's not like super complicated or anything. Yeah. But yeah, so I just wrote down a bunch of random topics, and then so we can either like what they do in their podcast is they'll like take turns picking different topics, and then like people can steal if they want, like, oh, that's my thing I want to rant about. So we can do that. It doesn't really have to have rules. We can do it however we want. It's our podcast. But yeah, you want to go first?
Do I want to rant first or
you want to rant first? Yeah, sure.
I'm gonna item first.
You're gonna item first? Okay.
Okay, so I have a random object generator on my phone.
I can see it just looks white, but
there it is.
Oh, okay. I actually can read it now.
So I'm gonna hit randomizer, and I'm gonna tell you what it is.
Okay.
Clay pots.
Clay pots. Okay. Let me tell you, like, don't even get me started on clay pots. Am I right? One, clay pots. I watch TikToks all day of people like making pottery. Yeah, they're addictive. And I'm like, why do you get to do that? And then I don't. And then you just get to make all this cool stuff. And then sometimes, like I have this thing where if they don't do it like exactly the way I want it, then it's very frustrating to me and I have to move on. Yeah. And so like when you're making clay pots, like read my mind already. Like figure it out, get the shape just right, everything. Like, I think the biggest problem is, like, if I was doing it myself, maybe I'd be more picky, I don't know, but I need it to be right. But I also just want to be the person doing it, I think is the biggest problem.
Well, let me tell you, I have a solution to your problem.
Oh.
I know this isn't a solution game, but I do have a solution to your problem. And it is an app, and it's a game, and it's called Pottery. And you do, I'll show you, but you play this game and you make pots. Like, it spins, I don't know how to like get it to show, but I'll go really close. Nope.
I think it went away. But okay, so it's called Pottery. I'm actually going to write it down because I need entertainment.
It like spins around and then you like make clay pot.
Sick. Like,
not as satisfying as
like doing it.
Yeah.
That's important. Well, like I've been trying to do, like, I know that, a lot of people have been filling their time with like crafting. One problem with that is I do work a full-time job. And so like the people I watch are like YouTubers where their full-time job is already, for the most part, like in their own home. So like, yes, they don't get to go out and do stuff as much, but like they can still make the most of their time in their house, whereas I have that 8 hours that I cannot do other things. So I get drained and I don't want to do that, but then I'm like, I'm bored. Why am I still watching TV? I'm watching things that I've seen a million times before, but I do it anyways. So my art was doing, let me see if I can find it. I made a meme yesterday. Let's see if I can find it. I actually got like a lot of satisfaction out of making this. Oh, I found it. Okay, so let me share my screen. I don't know if you saw it, but I made a meme yesterday and I spent like a significant amount of time on it. Like I made little stickers, so it's like
Yeah, but I didn't know that you made it.
yeah, so I mean, I don't want to like explain all the details behind it because, you know, art needs to speak for itself, but I just want someone to admire it because I did make this. I spent a significant amount of time like creating the little stickers and like putting all that in there.
Okay, so I have a question because I saw it and I didn't know what this was. What's on top of his head?
There's a tinfoil hat and then a flower crown.
Okay, I thought it was poop and a flower crown.
I mean, like similar vibes though. Like it's not entirely.
Why would somebody have on a poop crown?
Because they're going insane living by themselves. That was the point. Like that was like the vibe I was going for because I am going insane living.
I thought it was a great meme. I didn't know that you made it. I thought it was a great meme. I just didn't understand the poop.
Thanks. Yeah, no, I like that was my art yesterday was like making a meme. And so I have all these other like I have tons of crafting supplies in my house. I could totally use them. But I made art instead, or I made a meme instead, and that was my art. So that was my crafting.
Perfect.
All right. And by the way, we're probably going to go off topic a couple times, and that's fine. So I guess I'll pick something. So I picked stuff that like I knew I had opinions on.
Okay.
So your
items are going to be way better than my dumb random item generator.
I don't know. Like, you can find a thing. Oh, okay. This one, I don't know if you're going to feel the same way as I do. I put Disney website / like the app.
Don't even get me started. Did I say that right?
Yeah, that's one.
Don't even get me started on the Disney website / app. They are, first of all, they're both ridiculous. You can't do anything on them. They like constantly kick you out. They are like pretty complicated unless you like really know what you're doing, and you have to get to the right spot and you have to do this. And I can really rant about this because we have just had to reschedule our vacation for, this is our third time scheduling this vacation. We moved it from March to May to June, and so I just spent 2 days ago like a couple hours on the phone because the stupid website wouldn't let me like book it, reschedule it. So I had to do everything all over again. And then her website, the lady that I talked to, was going to charge us like $700 more. And I was like, we're not paying $700 more. This was the same room, the same hotel, the same everything. And it was going to charge us more? No, not doing it. So anyways, she's like, okay, it looks like the computer is getting ready, like letting me do it now. I was like, good, because that just wasn't going to happen. And then so I go on to the website and everything's fixed. But then I have to go through and I have to delete all of our old fast passes, all of our fast passes from May. Took me like 15 minutes because you can't just delete them all at once. You have to go through each individual one, hit cancel, and then click on my name and your name as the people that are canceling, and then hit confirm cancel for every single fast pass. We were there 6 days, and there's 3 fast passes per day per person, so that's a lot. And the app just crashes. It just crashes.
Yeah. No, I like just to add on to that, like you did the majority of the booking, but I can like my level of frustration with that in the minimal time that I've spent with it is insane. Like, okay, I work for a relatively small company and our website is so much more functional than Disney, who owns half the world. Like, I just don't understand like how it's possible. And like I remember the day that we were like our payments were due and I was like, okay, I was waiting for we had like a bonus check or something that was coming through. I don't remember. So I was like, okay, I was waiting for all that to get sorted out before I made the payment. So it was later than I wanted it to be, but it's still like, we got it figured out. Well, then I'm trying to make the payment. First, I have to log into your site to make your profile to make the payment, which I'm like, don't you want my money? This should be easy. Like this should be the easiest part of the website is making a payment. Because if you want to get paid, you should make it easy. Like that's,
But they hide it. It's hidden.
yeah, which I'm like, that's so counterintuitive. And yeah, no, so all the things you said, I was so frustrated and I was already stressed that day. And I remember you're trying to drive and I'm like texting you and I'm like, I'm freaking out right now. I'm freaking out. And I felt so bad.
The interstate in Alabama,
Mm-hmm.
trying to get like driving like way faster than I should have been, trying to make it to a wedding rehearsal dinner because I was a bridesmaid, and I'm just like trying to like hide text, don't text and drive, like and like voice text while I'm trying and like but making sure that it doesn't say like random things. And but anyways, yeah, and then sorry to break it to you, but if we're gonna do the after hours event like we planned, you're gonna have to get on there and do it all over again.
No, I mean, like, look, you've done the majority of the work, so I think it's only fair that I have to do at least something. But like, it's still just like the whole thing is so exhausting. Considering like if it was, you know, the 90s or whatever, sure, I would accept this level. But like Disney, you literally own everything. You can afford to have a website and an app that functions. Like you need to have people specifically in charge of the user interface to make it work. Like there's no reason why you can't do that.
Well, just wait till we get there in June, and then everything that we do, like the whole time we're there, is done on the app. And then that, like you have to keep refreshing things and like everything has to be done on the app. You can order food on the app. Like everything is app. You can unlock your hotel room on the app. Like everything's app related. So,
yeah. So like if you're gonna do all of that, like don't put all that functionality into it unless it's like actually functional. Like as someone who has, I haven't worked in IT, but I've worked in troubleshooting, and people need to be more upset about this. Like I have seen the comments about our website for my company and like people need to be more mad about this. Disney should be better.
I will say in the Disney verse, we are all mad about it.
Oh, you are? Okay. I don't spend enough time in that Disney verse, so like, okay, that's good. That's good to know.
We're all mad. Okay.
Sick. Okay.
Ready for your next one? Face wash.
Face wash. Ugh. Don't even get me started about face wash. Okay, so look, there's so many different varieties, first of all, and it's so hard to tell which one's good and which one's not. I have tried to actually Google some of this before just because it's hard to know like what to do. And I have sometimes sensitive skin, who knows? But like there's the stuff that's like exfoliating, which I really like, but then some of them have like microplastics in it, which are like the worst thing for the ocean. And I'm like, why you got to do this to me? Like just have stuff that's not going to kill the environment. Like I already do enough stuff that I know kills the environment. I'm trying to cut back on that, but come on. And yeah, I just need face wash that I need something simple because, you know, I've seen the ones that have like 14 steps or whatever, just like make it easy on me. Like I know I'm not supposed to use like the makeup wipes or whatever, like all up in my eyes. Like just make something that works on my eyes to just instantly remove some makeup. It would just make my life so much easier.
You should have seen my face or my eye the other day. because I got this like Neutrogena stuff from Walmart because nothing else is open.
Right.
So, because normally I would go to like Sephora or something, but so I get this Neutrogena face wash, and it's like a vibrating thing that you like
Oh yeah.
your face, and so I like was doing my forehead, and then it dripped down into my eye, and that face wash it like scratched my eyeball. Hold on, let me see if I can show you a picture of this. It was so horrible, and I'm just like, why is it so harsh that it's burning my eyeball? Like, that's a serious question that I have.
Mm-hmm.
Can you see that?
Oh God, yeah, like the red and the no, eye stuff is the worst. Yeah.
Yeah, and I'm like, it like just dripped from my forehead into my eye, and
yeah, no, like they need stuff that just works on both, because like I already have like I got genetic things where I already have like fine lines and like sweet bags under my eyes, and I always have like dark circles under my eyes, so I know I need to be like better about it if I want to not look dead without makeup on. That's one of the other reasons I wear makeup constantly, because one of the last times I didn't wear makeup, I had 3 people like independently ask if I was sick, and I was like, no, this is what my face looks like.
Deal with it.
Like, deal with it. But yeah, like, so I know I need to have special stuff there, but it's like, that's so much work, and if I'm already like tired and don't want to do stuff, like I know I need to wash my makeup off, but like, just make it easy on me, please.
Just need an all-in-one face wash that washes makeup off, moisturizes your skin, gets rid of any dead skin, tones, does like
anti-aging,
anti-wrinkle, like anti-aging, plumps things up, gets everything all in one.
All in one place.
But they're not going to create it because they want the money of you buying 45 different products.
It's true. It's really true. And the problem is it works, because like I buy stuff from Clinique, and it's like, it's so expensive. I love it. It works, but I pay like $50 for like a little thing like this.
The number one skin product that I use is Clinique Moisture Surge moisturizer. That's easy expensive. Been using it for 15 years. So
yeah, like how much money have you given them at this point? Like, yeah.
I always ask for it for Christmas and birthdays.
I need to do that.
Katie's mom, my friend Katie, her mom always sends it to me.
See, I originally got it as like a free thing from buying from Ulta online, and then I was like, oh my God, this actually works, and then I had to pay for it. I'm like, oh, this is oh wow, okay. The cognitive dissonance kicks in. I'm like, it's worth it. It's worth it. Look what it's doing. But I actually do think it works. Maybe it's cognitive dissonance. I don't know, but yeah.
This has been a paid advertisement by Clinique.
I know, right? Not a sponsor. Okay, I'll pick the next one. Ooh, semicolons.
Oh my gosh. I have so many feelings on semicolons. I'm an English teacher. Obviously, I have a feeling on semicolons. So let me tell you the story. A couple, maybe 3 or 4 months ago, one of my students was like, we don't learn enough about grammar. And I'm like, well, because I want to focus more on content and stuff, and I don't want to mess up your confidence by telling you how wrong you are in grammar, which I mean, there's all different kind of arguments about it, but whatever. Right. So I was like, okay, do you guys want to learn about grammar? And some, a lot of them are like, yeah, we want to learn about grammar. I don't even know how to use a semicolon. And I was like, just don't use the semicolon. And they're like, what? You don't want to teach us about semicolons? And I'm like, I literally have never in my entire, I'm a great writer. Never in my entire life have I ever had the desire to use a semicolon. Ever. I just don't use them. You can use a period. You don't need a semicolon. You don't need to know how to use them. I did teach them how to use semicolons. I did. But then I'm like, they're completely pointless. Just don't do it. If especially if you don't know how. If you don't know how, really don't do it. And like, they just suck. Like, just get rid of them. Forget them. Always use the Oxford comma, though. I feel very strongly about the Oxford comma. Always use the Oxford comma. Never use the semicolon. My 2 grammar rules.
Oh, and that's why I put it in here. It's like same exact thing. I see it mostly like in work things, but then there's like stuff, sometimes it's just online and people are using a semicolon instead of like a comma or something. I was like, no, that's not what it's for. What are you doing? That's what a comma is for. Like, just use a comma. I'm a big fan of a dash. I think I may possibly overuse them, but I love a good dash for emphasis. And yeah, but the Oxford comma, absolutely, like, because one of my biggest things that I do at work is proofing. And so all the things I see are like, okay, fix the semicolon, I actually have another grammar thing in here too, but like, semicolons are a big thing. I feel like people don't know how to use them, but then they try because they think it'll make them look fancy or something. And I'm like, no, there's really no reason for them. Forget
it. While we're on the subject of grammar though, can I also say that one of the things that some teacher somewhere in my life history taught me was to never use the phrase "in conclusion," because if you're writing a conclusion, it should just speak for itself. You don't need to say "in conclusion." And so now it's one of my biggest pet peeves that every single student, anytime they're writing a conclusion, they say "in conclusion." And so I tell them, never, ever, 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 ever use the words "in conclusion," and they still do.
Well, I just a thing on this. Did you see the pomegranate lady on YouTube? Like, she was like either a high school or a college teacher. Like, she's like screaming at the class, like, no pomegranates, no pomegranates. And it was to demonstrate the fact that if you and she was like, after the fact, she was like, what are you thinking about right now? And they're like, pomegranates, because like the human brain like eliminates the words like not and never and things like that, and so it just hears those. So like, instead of saying don't, say like what to do or whatever. So like, stop doing this or avoid doing this, rather than like don't do this or whatever. I don't know all the science on that, but that's something I've tried to do, like in teaching people stuff. I was like, do this or avoid this, like give them the verb of what to do or something. Yeah, I don't know, but that's just a fun thing. I like wonder if it's related or not.
Yeah. I think that they're 15 and they just don't like.
I mean, you would think, yeah. I mean, that's also. I mean, I'm sure that's a big piece of it.
It's because when I talk, I see that this is what their faces do.
Like, yeah, I hear everything.
Oh, there's nothing back there.
Yeah. No, like the funny thing about that though is, well, I like to think I'm an exception to a lot of teenagers, because I was, like a huge nerd. But like, I think I only remember being taught how semicolons work once, and it was junior year of high school, and my teacher taught us about those because he was talking about the difference between semicolons, dashes, and commas, and I like retained it. And so that's the only reason why. And I literally never, I think the only time I've actually used a semicolon is when I was proofing someone else's and they put a semicolon in there, and I like corrected it to like make it actually work correctly. But I was like, okay, you can use a semicolon here because you put it there. I'm trying not to rewrite your whole stuff, so like, you do you, but no.
Yeah. Oh my god. Okay. The next random item you have to rant about.
Okay. Cats. It's funny, I have this. So one of the things, you can rant positive or negative. And so, like, I mean, I love cats. I don't know if I mentioned it on a podcast before, but if you like follow me on any social media, like, I was basically raised by cats. Like my parents got married and my mom wanted kids like right away, and every time she asked for or wanted to have kids, my dad would get her another cat. And so by the time I was born, we had like 5 cats. And so literally like there are pictures of me like riding the cat down the stairs, just like all sorts of things with cats. I love animals in general. Like I love dogs. I love, well, okay, spiders, not so much, but like cats are my choice. I have 2 cats. They're my fave. Literally my thing in here about cats is how cute my cats are. Like because I could rant about them all day. Like we have this cool thing where you can have like put a picture on like your debit or credit card, and so mine are my cats. And when we were talking about doing it at work, I sent out a meme. I was like, me looking for an excuse to talk about my cats. Let me see if I can find it on my phone, but I don't know. But yeah, like I love cats. Oh, and I forgot to say, don't even get me started, because literally don't get me started on cats. Because I could talk about them for days. I love my cats. I'm obsessed with them. Let's see. Oh, I wish I had. Oh, that's not a thing. Woo, nope. Okay, I'm gonna turn off this for a second. Just pretend I don't have a messy house. I don't know if you can.
I can see the picture. I can't. Oh, there.
Like no one, me using my card as an excuse to talk about my cats. And then it's the angry lady at the grocery store, and then, oh, dang it, it went off the screen, but it was like using, it's like a picture of my cats, right?
Oh, I see the cat.
Yeah. So I sent that to everyone at work, and it was a hit. I'm not gonna lie. I'm really good at memes. Or I like to think I am. Okay.
I think you are.
Back to virtual background, and we'll just pretend no one saw my house. But yeah, cats. I have 2 tuxedo cats. I don't think they're not in the room with me right now, but my first cat is Daenerys Stormborn, a House Targaryen, first of her name, Queen of the Andals and the First Men, Khaleesi and the Great Grass Sea, Queen of Meereen, the Unburnt, Breaker of Chains, and Mother of Dragons, or Dany for short. And my other cat is Bames Alfonso Morpheus Frank, or BAMF, Bamf, badass motherfucker. And he, although he's kind of like, he's a Bamf in love. Like he didn't get neutered until he was 2. So he's just like, he's not even like fat really. Like, I mean, he's got like a little like belly, but he's just like a beefy boy. That's how I refer to him. He's just like, he's got a big build. When I first got him, he's got like these chubby little cheeks, and I'm like, that's so weird. And I brought him to the vet for like just a checkup when I first got him. And the first thing she said when she grabbed him, she was like, oh man, this guy got neutered late. And I was like, yeah, is that why he's got like the chubby cheeks? Because that was like one of the first things she touched. And she's like, actually, those are his jaw muscles. Because tomcats get into a lot of fights, and so they have to have really strong jaw muscles to like bite down and stuff. But Bames is like such a lover. Like Melanie,
you're not a fighter.
Yeah, he's a lover, not a fighter. He's a lover, not a thinker. Like he's a boy of simple pleasures. Like he likes food.
Simple pleasures.
He's a beef of simple pleasures. Like he loves cuddles and food and his ball, and those are his things, and that's fine. Like he follows me through the house. He likes to sit in the middle of doorways and hallways and just stare, and I'm like, I guess I'll go around you. Like, that's cool. I adore him, and I adore Dany. Like I feel like Bames is that cat, like, as soon as you walk in, he, like, any new person walks in, he's like, hi, I love you, pet me now. And Dany, like, takes her time. She's more the territorial one. Like, she guards the house from, like, the neighbor cats or, right, like, birds or whatever. So yeah, Dany is the fighter and Bames is the lover, even though he is much larger than her, but he doesn't fight. Like they got in one like real fight near when they first did it, and it's because Danny came at him. I have scars from that, but like that's the only time. Like he's such a gentle giant.
They're both great pals.
I love them so much. I have a photo album of just cats, just pictures of my cats, and it has 854 pictures in there. My regular album, because I had to separate it out because I had so many pictures, but I have 505 in there, and actually 5 of those are cats that I just haven't moved over yet. So yeah.
I don't have my cats separated, but I currently have 7,665 pictures in my phone.
Yeah, that's a lot.
Oh my gosh, but I just opened it up and look.
Oh, Molly, she's so pretty and she's so cute.
Oh, okay, one more picture.
Yeah, no, I accept this. Oh, the little babies next to each other. I love it. See, this is why we don't get started on cats, because you can talk about it for I was like, and here's this picture and this picture. And here's this video I took 3 years ago. Check if you want to check my Instagram, you'll see 90% of it.
I was gonna say my Instagram is hold on, let me pull this up real quick.
Actually, I was like, I have my Instagram pulled up. Let me you can see cat picture, me and Melanie, cat picture, cat, it just keeps going. Here.
Wait, I lost me.
Okay.
Okay, so cats, dog, biscuits, cats, dogs, cats, Disney, cats, dog, cats.
You gotta have priorities in life. I mean,
cats, dogs, biscuits, and Disney.
Yep. Those are important things.
Yes.
Okay. Let me get the next one.
Just so you know, I have 18 minutes left.
18 minutes before
Who Wants to Be a Millionaire?
Okay. Look, I understand. I have my my D&D show that I've been watching. I was like, I have to watch it live, guys. You don't understand. My other thing is another grammar one, unnecessary capitalization.
Don't even get me started. Unnecessary capitalization. Well, okay, so as an English teacher, again, I have way less unnecessary capitalization than I have necessary capitalization that doesn't happen. So I feel like capitalization as a whole should be addressed here.
I accept that.
Just know when to hold them, know when to hold them, know when to walk away, when to run.
It's so appropriate.
It just know how to it's not that hard. Capitalize beginning of sentences and names of things, and that's it. That's all you need to do. Leave everything else lowercase. My students won't even capitalize their own names, and I'm like, you exist as a person. Capitalize yourself. Make yourself feel important.
You are a specific person. Do you think there's just Logan is a generic term for everything? I don't understand. Yeah.
Top favorite name, by the way. Love the name Logan.
I do too. I remember this is totally off topic, but one time I answered the phone because I used to work in a call center, and the person on the other line, their name was Logan, and they had a very high feminine voice, and I was like, oh wow, I've never met a woman named Logan. And they're like, I'm not a woman. I'm like, turned out they were a 19-year-old man whose voice voice was just high.
Funny that you said that, because I was gonna, like, right before you started telling the story, I was gonna say that my firstborn child will be named Logan, whether it is a boy or a girl, because I think it's an adorable name for a girl.
Mhm. No, I actually love the names that can kind of do either gender. Like, I'm a big fan of those. I mean, I like a lot of different names, but like I always love that kind of stuff. Like that,
Yeah.
I find that I feel like it's one of those like hot names too. Like, as like when someone has one of those names that could go either way, like I feel like they're just like more attractive for some
Yeah,
reason.
they are.
Like, I don't know why, but
Like Lively, like
Yeah, Blake, yes, yeah. She was on a totally different topic, but she was one of those people that I also hated when I first heard of her, and now I love. But because she's blonde and she's like hot, and well, I think part of it is like because I first saw her in Sisterhood of the Traveling Pants, as we all did, and her character, now I can't even remember her character's name. But like her character, I think I identified very strongly with her, but also like I felt like she reflected a lot of my negative characteristics, and so that I think that there was a little bit of that. It was like the self-loathing sort of thing. It's like,
yeah.
oh my god, that's so stupid. Why would you do that? Totally does that thing. Like that's yeah. So it's things like that. I think that that's part of the reason.
What her character's name was now.
Like my mind keeps saying Summer, and I know that's not right.
Sisterhood of the Traveling Pants. It was cast. Bridget.
Okay. Yep. No, and like yeah. So that was a thing. But no, I totally love her now. Yeah. Okay. I just gave you unnecessary capitalization, which turned into talking about Blake Lively. So,
I mean, same thing.
Basically. No, I just, that's another thing when proofing I see a lot where it's like people, like the term credit unions is being capitalized, and it's like, no, that's not the name of the credit union. That's a generic term. It does not need to be capitalized. And like, for some reason, when things are capitalized when they don't need to be, but it annoys me more than when they are not capitalized when they should be. Like, I got weird things. I don't know. That's one of my things. Either way, capitalization important.
Okay, your next thing. Magazine.
Okay, don't even get me started on magazines. Look, first of all, like magazines, everything can be found online now. Like, why have it in paper? Why destroy the rainforest? Like,
seriously,
we don't need the paper form. Like, yes, it's fun sometimes to have a physical form, but you don't need to have that, and it just feels like such a waste. Also, like, I know that there are a lot of good magazines out there, but like the stuff that like you see on a day-to-day basis in like the grocery store, just like all the tabloid
fire.
Oh God, yeah, just like horrible news, bad facts, like all these things that like aren't. Oh, I remember one you might. Oh God, I think I put it on Facebook, so it would be harder to find, but I literally saw one time. It was like a couple from Teen Mom, and there was two different magazines right next to each other, and one of them said, "I'm not pregnant," and the other one said, "I'm pregnant." And it's literally the same person, same month, different magazines, different stories. Like, yeah, and like there's just bad news. There's already enough like bad stuff out there, like, and by bad I'm not talking about like necessarily negative, but like false. And there's like, you got to have good sources. It just like, there's a lot of like, because journalism is like, can be a really good thing, but I think there's a lot of the fancier, or not fancier, a lot of the more commonly seen magazines is based off of, like rumor and gossip. a lot of times, and I'm just, it's real disappointing. We need like some like journalism with integrity out there.
Yeah.
So magazines, do it.
Definitely. I agree.
Okay. Oh no, it was cats, which again I could talk about it all day, but oh, this one you may not like get. This was definitely written specifically for me. Putting all financial institutions in the same bucket, which I can rant about, but
Even get me started. I mean, really, you probably should get me started because you know that I have a very like hateful feeling towards financial institutions,
mhm,
and I just hate them.
mhm. Which like
And I
there
put them
are,
all in one bucket.
yeah. So let me tell you about like the differences between certain types of financial institutions because it is a very important difference.
Educate
As
me.
someone, so I work at a credit union. I will like clarify on that. And there was a lot of these things I didn't know as well before I started working here. But now that I do, I'm very passionate about it. I have a lot of opinions about it. I have a lot of feelings about it. And I feel like not enough people know. So one, banks and credit unions, different things. So banks are a for-profit business that are run by a board of directors that are paid, and their entire job is to pad the bottom line. And there are a variety of banks. You know, there's the big ones. There's smaller like local banks that aren't like all evil, but banks on their own tend to be, they have higher interest rates. They generally don't look at like the big picture, or they don't look at like the individual. They look at the numbers.
Mhm.
Credit unions are not for profit, not non-profit, but not for profit means that any profit that they make goes back into the community, the employees, and the members. So they give back higher returns on savings, and they give better interest rates on loans. They're more likely to actually like work with the people, and like credit unions have a limited membership base. So like the one that I'm working for is just for people who live and work in the state of Alaska. There are people, there are other credit unions. We're actually like a relatively big credit union, but there's a lot of them out there that have like 4 employees because they're just for like one specific industry or one specific company or whatever. And it was started by people pooling their money together. It was founded on the belief of people helping people. So the initial like credit union was a bunch of like weavers pooling their money together to buy resources at better prices. So if you buy in bulk, like it's like buying from Costco, you buy in bulk, you get better prices, then people can save money. And so that's essentially the idea behind credit unions. And
Mhm.
so credit unions are every member, every like we don't even use the word customer, it's member, because you have a membership, you are part of the credit union, you put in a share or whatever, you put in like however much it is to have a share. Like there's, most of them are pretty affordable, but like you get a say in what happens at the credit union. The board of directors is a volunteer group, so they're literally doing it because they just want to help people. And so credit unions, they're formed on cooperative principles. There's a whole list I could talk about, but like they work together, they try and educate the community, they're like a lot better. And so like when we had the 2008 economic crisis, credit unions they didn't take the bailout. They were not ones that like took government money to get themselves out of it. They put their money, like credit unions for a while have put their money into the NCUA. They have an insurance fund to pay, like they basically use their own money to bail themselves out if they had that problem, with which most credit unions don't get themselves into a lot of the problems that banks do with, or that cause that economic crisis where it's like lending to people who can't pay it back. Credit unions are way different than that, but they're actually subject to like the same regulations as banks, even though those regulations actually cause, I totally agree with the regulations. They do need to be put on financial institutions. However, like a lot of like the tiny credit unions, like to meet all those regulations, there's like it can be really expensive. So anyways, that's my like soapbox rant on that. But like if you have lost faith in financial institutions, like give a credit union a try. Like you can look up like
I tried
Mhm.
and all the credit unions denied me.
Like were you trying to get a membership or were you trying to
I was trying to start a checking account.
Well, they can do there are things I don't know the credit unions in your area. So I will say that like
we have Idaho Central Credit Union, that's for Idaho people. And then the other one that I tried was CapEd, which is for educators. And they're like, no, because I had a Wells Fargo account that like I owed like $50 or something too. So they're like, yeah, we're not opening an account with you.
Yeah. So like everyone's a little different. I know that like some credit unions are better than others, but yeah, like things like with Wells Fargo, like where they were literally I know people who used to work at Wells Fargo, and like if they didn't make their sales goals, they would have to be like they would have to stay late until they made their sales goals. Like they would just have to keep calling. And so you saw like all the things that happened with Wells Fargo, like they created fake accounts and fake like loans for people, and that's because of policies like that. When you have such strict like sales goals like that, you're incentivizing people to make stuff up so they can go home for the day or they can get paid or whatever. And I mean, I know people who work for Wells Fargo, they didn't have that experience too, so obviously it varies, but like you can see as a whole a lot of those policies can be problematic. I've probably gone on too long about this, I'm sorry, but I just have a lot of opinions about it. I wasn't sure if we were going to get to that, but yeah, this was it's just something I think it's really important because credit unions actually like do a lot of good work. They like give back to the community and they educate people about finances. And
yeah, I mean, I know a ton of great things about your credit union. So
yeah. So anyways, that was my rant. So sorry about that.
Well, now I have to go watch Who Wants to Be a Millionaire.
Okay. Well, I guess, I was going to try and segue, but it didn't work because work doesn't happen. So, well,
I just had this like nightmare feeling that you weren't recording this. Are you recording this?
I'm recording it. Although I'm like, at this point, I'm like, I may need to cut out like all the ranting I did about credit unions. Like, it's gonna be like a 15-minute podcast. Cause like, yeah, Lex went on a rant that like we can't even like air. But yeah, thanks for hanging out, everyone. I'm gonna try and do the YouTuber thing. So like and subscribe, share it, yay. Let us know if you want to see anything new. I know there's like 20 people who have watched this, so like tell your friends, yay. Hashtag you've got Melex. Make you've got Melex a trend. We'll think of something catchy. I don't know.
Make it. Do it.
Make it a thing. Yes, go. Call to action. Woohoo. All right. See you guys later. Boop.